because we've gone on and on and on about what does he know. And the reason I'm asking these is because to me, this is where we definitely get into. We've gone back and forth. Did he know? Doesn't he know? Did he know? Doesn't he know? That says to me, he has to know. Well, and what is it he knows? Because, and I know neither of you have seen the second film, but immediately when we get into it, I'm going to ask again, what did he know?
Well, remember back when he was talking with Taylor to begin with, he thought he was a tribe from another side of the jungle.
Right.
So he could still be referencing the fact that he would encounter man at some point, that they have to survive somewhere outside of this area, right?
Yeah. Well, do they? Do they have to? And why is it? Because to me, he's not just saying man. He's saying a thinking.
Yeah, because I had in my notes here. I kind of see Zeus' point now. He's a true believer. And in the scriptures, whether or not they're correct or not, the scriptures are backing up what he sees, that humans are a pest. And that if one shows up who can talk, that's even worse than just having these pests over there. And then what happens when a whole human tribe that can show up can talk? According to his, and they have reasoning and can fight. According to his scriptures, that means all the apes are going to die. So the humans have to die first.
Just to say this real quick, I think the thing immediately that I start wondering is kind of what Zeus has never given the true. This is why I believe what I believe. We've become accustomed in movies where we at least understand. We may have the questions that go along with Heath Ledger's Joker in the Batman film, but we kind of still get that there was some trauma that occurred. We see the scars, we see these things, we understand the psychology. Zeus, he's kind of all over the place, and I don't get where it's coming from, so that's why I asked that.
Breaking these down minute by minute and looking at his dialogue in kind of these small chunks. Yes, the character is inconsistent in terms of what he appears to know, his motivation, his direction. Because if he thought Taylor was who he was at the beginning, I would have shut that shit down. Right?
Yeah.
Snip him off, hit him in the brain, you're done.
Yeah.
That's a very good point.
Right. I mean, this is... Maybe he had a sense that Taylor was going to be this thing, but needed to find more to confirm that that's what was happening. And, of that, I'm sure, all my life I've waited, you're coming and dreaded it like death itself. Again, he might be thinking of a prophecy in the scripture itself. Not necessarily this moment was going to be it. But
or
now
it could be an irrational dread. It could be irrational. He thought, what if man could think? And I dreaded that.
We don't know what his interactions in the past have been with humans. He might have had bad interactions where wild humans attacked him at some point or something like that. So this is why he has a hatred for them. We have no idea what his background is with humans.
And going back to that great comic that we all agree, the Planet of the Apes Ursus line, maybe he's been exposed to Landon. Maybe he knew something along that. And so that's at least thrust him towards where do you come from? Maybe that's why we have the whole, is your tribe beyond there?
The forest, or the Forbidden Zone.
There are two of you now.
Because he wants to know. He had a sense that something would happen at some point because of the scripture, because of the prophecies, things like that.
Right.
And so he's done everything he can to try and put a kibosh on as much as he can, even though he's let Cornelius, Cornelius go out and do his research, his archaeology, and he's let Zero do her animal studies. It just seems a little inconsistent. I mean, he's now faced in the situation where he knows where this is going to go, and that's why he's saying this line versus he's known the entire time.
So, and yes, and I agree with you on every part of that. The inconsistencies, I want to be fair, and we've said this a few times, so anybody listening, maybe you're jumping in for the first time, we're not trying to poke holes in this to the point we love these films so much that we're trying to understand them. And I think that maybe the biggest tell-all is that it's a product of the 1960s studio system where they would bring in a table full of writers, started with Rod Serling. It's going to just go throughout. And when you do that, you might get inconsistencies across because a line sounds great. We got to keep out of it. The director says, I love this. Keep it.
That's a very bold line, like death itself.
Yeah.
I mean, that would have got my attention. I'd be like, I'm waking up. What?
So what is it he says after that one?
So then Taylor says, why? I've terrified you from the first. And that's coming to the end of our minute there, too.
Right. So I've terrified you from the first lends credence to that idea that, like we were talking about with the comic book, maybe he's seen something immediately preceding Taylor to make him begin to be suspect of what the hell's going on.
And I wonder if before Taylor and Landon, if there was ever a more intelligent human out there that he's run into or not, or if they, if there are differing levels of intelligence among them.
Did he have a human servant that he perhaps loved, almost like Thomas Jefferson loved Sally? I don't mean it in that bizarre way, but truthfully, did he have somebody that was dear to him? Did he have something? Okay, I'm getting the biggest sheepish looks from both of you as I say that, but I meant that honestly.
I haven't seen Hamilton, sorry.
You haven't seen Hamilton?
No, because I'm not going to listen to a soundtrack without watching it. And it's
trust me, it would help you if you did.
What?
It's great. Listen to it before you go see it.
Well, why don't I just listen to a soundtrack of a movie before I go see it? I want to experience it in the movie.
We're getting off into something else. We're off into
I don't know where you guys are going.
We've had this debate before.
Hamilton by the minute.
Yeah.
Well, which has already existed, and they do a great job with it, too. Yeah, it's great. Anyway, and I'll have to hashtag Hamilton now.
Yeah.
So when you look at this minute, what I find surprising is that of all those moments we've had, like we're on the beach, we're running on the beach, we're walking through the desert, we're crashing to Earth. This minute really was consumed by that kiss. I mean, it really
it is the
bulk
point
of this minute. Yeah, exactly. With the exception of this one kind of final moment, this one kind of beginning with Zaya starting his conversation with Taylor as Taylor starts to ride off on his horseback.
I mean, it definitely has that. Again, this is a conversation that is the ultimate conversation of the whole film, and I can't wait to talk tomorrow about it.
Yeah,
it's one we've been waiting for. We want to know what Zaius is going to say to him. So
I mean, everything he said in that room that was supposed to be little pieces of evidence about what he knows about man and what he knows about Taylor and what he knows about stuff. This tomorrow's minute kind of opens that a little bit more for us.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we rest up, get some dinner, have a nap or something, and come back tomorrow.
Come back tomorrow morning. You want to do tomorrow morning?
Yeah, we'll start going on the rest of the minute.
Awesome. So, Richard, do you have anything else to add?
No.
Well, then that's another one in the books. That's minute 106. We hope you'll come back tomorrow. And until then, we hope you'll go interact with us on social. We got so many friends out there who are hitting us up on social, telling us what they think, giving us ideas, correcting Sean, and giving Sean nightmares of hairless bears. God, Richard, you didn't see it, but we mentioned a hairless bear in one of our past episodes. One of our listeners sent a picture of a hairless bear.
It's a mutant out of your nightmares.
I have a new nightmare image, and Sean's response was beautiful.
I need whiskey before my eyes.
Maybe you should try drinking a gallon of milk.
Oh my God. You bring that full circle to last week.
That's from last week.
You may be a genius. All right. So we will see you guys tomorrow. For Richard and Sean, I'm Todd. Bye.
Bye, guys.